Celtics Game Highlight is presented by T-Mobile.
Keep everybody praised, except for Hornacek. That's messed up.
Smart in the lane. His first miss.
Oh, man!
Pritchard now will run the show. Richardson, Williams, Langford. Pritchard from deep, and he hits a three.
There you go. Celtics already.
In the hands of Pritchard. Brown comes up shooting again. Knocks that one down.
This is how the Celtics have to play.
Romeo in the lane, sidestep, counted a foul. Smart the other way. Maybe this is their afternoon. Sure looks like it.
I love the movement. Marcus Smart faked the player screen cut. Al Horford delivered it.
Wizards can't get that to go. It's defended there. Pritchard, another look at a three. Who are these guys, Scott?
I know, it's not the same team we saw 2 nights ago.
Comes up. Smart. Gotta shoot it. Brown knows it. Tipped in by Williams. Better than halfway to the third. Horford. No.
Yes. Williams.
Smart for three. Williams for two.
How good is Grant Williams in this game?
Yes! Can't get rid of Pritchard. Wainwright. Big shot. Paul looking for his shot and finds it.
Man, how do you get away from Rob Williams on that one?
Williams. Brown for two.
That'd be Rob Williams triple-double.
Smart. Picked up by Smith. He backs off. Crosses over, takes it to the basket, gets two. Big bucket from Smart. Shot clock. Brown. Big bucket.
Jaylen Brown operating in the post.
Well, who to dunk it? At the last day of the year, the Celtics come out and just blitz the Phoenix Suns.
T-Mobile, the leader in 5G.
Welcome into Celtics post-game live presented by your New England Ford dealers. Chris Mannix, Amina Smith here with you. And the Celtics beat the Suns 123-108. And Chris Mannix, just how he drew it up. And we predicted this matchup to go. The Celtics just running away with it.
Of course, you face one of the best teams in the NBA that even depleted still has arguably the best backcourt in the NBA. You build a 26-point first-half lead, and you stave off a couple of runs to have a 15-point win. I think this was the best win of the season for this team. When you take into context everything that's been happening the last couple of weeks, the absence of Jason Tatum, the back-to-back losses, which might have been the 2 worst losses of the season. Minnesota, which didn't have anybody, the shooting that they had against the Clippers to bounce back and beat Phoenix showed tremendous resolve, tremendous heart. This is a great win for this team.
Yeah, a huge win for the Celtics. Let's toss it out to Abby Chin right now, who's with Rob Williams.
It's now time to send the notice for me for spending by with Josh Richardson for today's post-game.
All right, we'll come back to that in a second. Some audio issues for Abby
Look
Chin
like they're
out
having
there.
fun down there.
I know, right? Josh Richardson just jumping on Rob Williams' back. Everybody's having a good time, and honestly, I did not see this coming, Chris Mannix. I mean, even at halftime when they were up by 26 points at the half, it was like, I felt like there was some way that this might fall apart, but they were able to maintain it. How were they able to do that?
Well, I just think they showed tremendous toughness, and they stuck with it in key stretches of this game. You knew that Phoenix at some point was going to make a run. Even without guys like DeAndre Ayton and Jay Crowder, this team has more than enough firepower to come at you with spurts, and they did that against the Celtics in the third quarter. And as you're watching that third quarter start to unfold, you had to have been thinking that this Celtics team was going to unravel. They've just unraveled too many times in the third quarter of games this season. But they fought back. They got great contributions from guys like Grant Williams, who had one of his better games of the year. Rob Williams, he was tremendous from start to finish. The shooting was a lot better from top to bottom. And the defense, virtually every metric you look at defensively, the Celtics against Phoenix were pretty good at. Look, the Suns are not this tremendous up-tempo team, but they had 3 fast break points in this game. That's part good offense from the Celtics, keeping them out of transition, but that is excellent transition defense as well.
What does this tell you about this Celtics team, that one day they could lose to the Timberwolves and then the next day beat the Phoenix Suns, who are at the top of the NBA?
It just means they're unpredictable, and they need to take this game and bottle it up and keep showing this film over and over again. I know sometimes coaches like to show bad film to a team. No. For this team, kill them with kindness. Show them this film over and over again, because this is evidence that this team, when locked in on both ends of the floor, is capable of high-level things.
They have the talent. They just got to put it all together out there on the floor, like how we saw this afternoon. All right, let's send it back out to Abby, who is with Rob Williams right now.
Not a bad way to close out 2021.
That's how you play. My boy got triple-doubles.
You know me, bro. I'm tired.
Yeah, first career triple-double. Also the first Celtics player to do that, plus have 4 blocks since 1977. He did it on 70s night. But Rob, how does that sound?
Honestly, just happy to get a win. Honestly, happy for my team to play a full 4 quarters, meaningful purpose. You know what I'm saying? That's really what means the most to me. The triple-double happened. I'm thankful for it, but I'm trying to get us on the right path.
The Suns were without DeAndre Ayton and JaVale McGee. Was the plan to play through you?
It was just get the easiest buckets. You know, we had a size advantage. You know, they were messing up on our cuts and our slips, so we just wanted to get the easiest buckets.
You said it. There were some tense moments there in the third and fourth quarters. What did you guys say amongst each other to close out this game?
We just told each other basically we can't let games keep slipping away. You know, we're sick of games slipping away from us. Wanted to give everybody a Happy New Year's, obviously, but I'm just proud of how my team played, honestly.
Rob, finally, how much pride are you taking in this performance? I know it's been a rough couple of weeks for you, especially taking some criticism from Ime.
Yeah. We have games every other day, you know what I'm saying? I can't dwell off the last game, just how I can't dwell off this one. We play again in another day, you know what I'm saying? I'm just ready for this to get, you know what I'm saying, us to get our rhythm back, get rolling. I'm glad everybody feeling good.
Congratulations. Happy New Year.
Appreciate it.
A big game for Rob Williams. 10 points, 11 rebounds, 10 assists, and 5 blocks. The first Celtic ever with a triple-double and 5+ blocks in a single game. Let's bring in Scal, who's inside of TD Garden. And Scal, a huge afternoon for Rob Williams. The biggest thing he provided on the court out there today.
His passing was next level. I love the way the Celtics played they really played 5 out, the ball top with Rob Williams, and a lot of times you heard him say they weren't guarding the slips and the cuts very well, and that sort of game plan threw the Suns off. Usually they have DeAndre Ayton back there who's great defensively. They took advantage of Jalen Smith, and who had a good game offensively, but defensively they're just not the same, and I love the way the Celtics played with him out there.
Yeah, I just really like the energy that Rob Williams showed on both ends of the floor. But defensively, look, last game against Phoenix, you had JaVale McGee really changing the game with the energy he brought in that game. And Scal, I got to tell you, early on, I was a little worried about Rob Williams. I'm watching the first quarter, and he's dumping behind-the-back passes out of bounds. And I'm wondering, should we sub him out of there right away? But to his credit, he remained focused, and he was able to be effective on both ends, hanging around the rim offensively, getting good looks, and just being a presence. You mentioned the 5 blocks he had. There were several other opportunities Phoenix had at the rim, particularly Devin Booker, that were bothered by Rob Williams' length. So credit to him for staying locked in for the entire, 40-ish minutes he played.
Yeah, he was really good, and I think defensively across the board, you could look at the Celtics. I thought they were very good. I mean, what they did to Chris Paul, Devin Booker, and those guys are elite at what they do. Devin Booker was getting to his spots, but the Celtics kept pursuing the ball, kept challenging shots. So the defense was special today. And the only thing I ask for is, like, can they bring that same defensive intensity when these three things happen, right? You play against some of the better teams, but also when you play against the worst teams. When things start going sideways for you offensively, like the start of the fourth quarter, and they were turning the ball over and missing threes, they stuck with it defensively. And that's the only thing I would ask for this team in 2022. It's just like you guys should be, and Mannix mentioned it from the very beginning of the season, same with me, is you guys should be an elite defensive team no matter what happens on the offensive end. And I'd like to see this energy and effort defensively no matter who you play, no matter what the situation is.
And Scal, the Celtics were up 26 at the half, their largest lead all season long. How did they get there, and how did they maintain it?
Yeah, so they didn't maintain it. They, Phoenix cut back into it, but how they got there was making shots. They made threes in the first half, and I liked the game plan of keeping Rob out to pull out Jalen Smith, on the perimeter. But then why they lost it is because they didn't play with the same pace offensively, and that's not running up and down and getting fast break points. It's the cuts, the slips, and stuff like that. Grant Williams had a couple big plays where he slipped to the basket and he had an advantage against a smaller player, but they just have to figure out, like, when they do something well, they got to keep driving that thing home, and they got to do it with a little bit of pace and a little bit of force when they're playing against a really good team.
Scott, I know you were out there on the broadcast, kind of a little bit of a basketball Chicken Little, like the sky is falling every time they cut that lead down a little bit. And you were right. Like, I was feeling the exact same way watching in the green room, but I didn't even feel in this game like the Celtics were losing the lead as much as a really good Phoenix team was getting it back or getting back into it. And I was really impressed at different moments during the game when the Celtics were able to, stem the tide there a little bit when they were making a run. I remember the middle of the third quarter when the Suns cut it to about 13, and all of a sudden you have Rob Williams, you have Grant Williams, you got guys out there not knocking down threes to push that lead up that way, but getting to the rim, getting and-one opportunities, being physical in the paint, and earning those buckets. So I was actually really impressed with the mental toughness we saw in the second half of this game from the Celtics.
I agree, and I think it was because of them on the defensive end. I thought and me and you talk about them defensively, how good they should be, and no matter what happened, I didn't think they let go of the rope at all, ever. Not a single possession in which I felt like, man, they're hanging their heads defensively. I thought across the board, 48 minutes. Now, offensively, there were some hits and misses. It happens, a lot of turnovers, mysteries, whatever. But defensively, I thought they brought it every possession. I liked the way that they challenged Booker, Chris Paul, got into people's bodies. There's going to be breakdowns, and those things happen, but I was really impressed by the Celtics' defensive energy effort today.
Hey, that's what they say. Boston on a Thursday night is undefeated. Those Suns came into town. This city is lights up on a Thursday night.
A lot of empty calories, Chris. A lot of empty calories.
All right, thanks so much, Cal. Let's send it out to Abby Chin, who's with Ime Udoka right now.
Pretty good way to close out 2021, beat the best team in the league, shoot better than 54% against the number 2 defense in the league. What did you learn about your team tonight?
We can bounce back. We had a really good practice yesterday. You saw a lot of good carryover from that today. Some of the actions we ran, and they're missing some of the rim protection overall, but that's still a veteran team that's obviously very solid and experienced, and so showed us more who we are than some of the past few games.
I know part of that, Rob Williams, first career triple-double and first Celtic to do that along with 5 blocks. What was the plan to play through him tonight? And then also he has had a couple of rough weeks here. What are you seeing from him?
Resiliency. He bounced back well tonight, and we did want to go through him and out a lot. We had 28 assists tonight and 17 coming from those 2 guys, including 10 from Robert. So we saw some things that we could exploit within their defense and really wanted to play out of our bigs and not as much just rely on Jalen and some of their guys with guys missing. And so he delivered with that tonight. He's a guy that has a huge ceiling. He's going to have some ups and downs, but we like his overall consistent play.
Finally, started Grant and really tightened the rotation, stuck to 8 guys. Can you tell me the thoughts behind that?
Just having bigger size there. We wanted to switch a lot of matchups and, having more size with Grant switching on to Paul and Booker instead of having the smaller guys there. That was pretty much it. That last spot with Jason out has been a little bit interchangeable there. And then just in general, we liked how those guys were playing. We had 47 points off the bench with Peyton, Josh, and blanking right now on the third guy. Peyton, Josh, and Romeo there. So we had great production within those guys and didn't want to mess up that rhythm, so we tightened it a little bit, and it worked out for us.
Congratulations. Happy New Year.
Thank you. Happy New Year. You too. Thank you.
Thank you.